When we solve two-step equations, we still have to keep everything balanced. So whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other side. This first equation here says that we have some number that was multiplied by -2. U is our unknown number. So it's multiplied by -2, and then 10 was added to it. And the result was 2. So the last thing that happened, because of order of operations, was adding 10. In order of operations, we would have multiplied first and then added 10. So we need to undo that plus 10 first. An easy way to do this is to take your finger and cover up the entire term with the variable. The minus gets covered up as well. What's left is a positive 10. The opposite of a positive 10 is a negative 10, or minus 10. 10 minus 10 is 0, so I can cross it off. But since I subtracted 10 from the left side, I have to subtract 10 from the right side. What's left over here is the -2u. Be careful not to forget the negative. 2 minus 10 is -8. And now I'm down to a one-step equation. I have some number times -2. The opposite of multiplying by -2 is dividing by -2. So I do that to each side. -2 divided by -2 is 1. I can cross that off because 1u is just the same as u. -8 divided by -2 is +4. Here's how I do the check. To make sure I did it right, I'm going to take my original equation, but in place of u, I'm going to put the value of u. So instead of writing 2u, I'm writing 2 times 4 equals 2. Now I solve this following order of operations. So 10 minus 8 equals 2. Solve this. 2 does equal 2, so I got the correct answer. The correct answer is 4. 2 just shows that it's equal. So let's try this one. Separate the left and right side. I'm going to cover up the entire term with the variable. What's left is a positive 10. So I subtract 10 from each side. 10 minus 10 is 0, so I'll cross it out. -5y is what's left. Again, don't forget to bring the minus sign down as a negative. -30 minus 10 is -40. Now I have -5 being multiplied by y. The opposite of multiplying by -5 is dividing. So I end up with y is equal to 8. Here's my check. 10 minus 5 from right here. In place of y, I'm going to put the value I got for y, which is 8, equals -30. Following order of operations, I'll multiply here first. So it's 10 minus 40 equals -30. 10 minus 40 is -30. So I know I got it correct. On this one, again, I'm going to start by covering up where the variable is. I have a -12. The opposite of a -12 is a +12, so I'll do +12 to each side of the equation. -12 and +12 cancel out to make 0. So I'm left with 2t equals -14 plus 12 is -2. And now I divide each side by 2. So t is equal to -1. In this one, again, I start by covering up the variable term, including the plus or minus that's in front of it. I have a +24. The opposite of +24 is -24, or in this case, -24. So I do that to each side. 24 minus 24 is 0. 6 minus 24 is -18. Bring down the -6a. Again, be very careful not to forget the minus. And now I divide each side by -6. So I get a is equal to +3. I'm just going to switch the order. There we go. On this one, draw my line, cover up the variable term. The opposite of +6 is -6. So I do that to each side. -12 minus 6 is -18. Carry down the -2a. Divide each side by -2. Negative divided by negative is a positive. So I end up with A is equal to 9. This one, again, cover up the variable term. The opposite of plus 72 is minus 72. Minus 72. So I end up with 9 is equal to negative 9a. Divided by negative 9, divided by negative 9. So I get negative 1 is equal to a, or a is equal to negative 1. On Delta Math, when you plug the answer in, just put the negative 1, don't put a equals. Or just put the 9, don't put a equals. The way the answers are formatted in there, they're just looking for the answer without the variable.